That's what the goal is to depopulate the Anglo-Saxon race. Because they are the ones with the strongest bloodlines.
This guy is a phenomenal example against the intellectual superiority of white people. I don't know how you can look in the mirror as this guy and think, yes, my group is the superior group. I'm going to go a bit farther and say it's not sociological. I just think this guy's got like low IQ juice in his brain. He just strikes me as just a very empty-headed person. This isn't something that I've been paying a tremendous amount of attention to, in large part because it's Canadian and therefore not real, but recently there's been this big uprising of Canadian truckers who are protesting Canada's vaccine mandates. As I understand it, something like 90% of Canadian truckers are vaccinated, so I have a feeling we're talking about a very loud minority here. I also know this little movement actually got signal boosted by Elon Musk. Undeniably, at this point, a right-wing figure. Every time he speaks up, it seems to be some kind of adjacent... yes, here he is. It is incredible to me that the modern emblem of the meme culture is so internet, what would you call it, illiterate. Elon Musk has essentially no apparent understanding of how memes work or how to come off as cool, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, here's him with a picture, 250,000 likes, by the way, of the Canadian truckers. You can tell it's Canada because it looks like shit and it's cold. Canadian truckers rule. Yeah, here you go. This and many other things has turned him into a sort of rallying conservative figure. But why get your info from me? Reuters. Hit me up. Whoa.
Trucks lined roadways leading into Canada's capital, Ottawa, on Saturday as drivers staged a massive protest against Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's COVID-19 vaccine mandates. The so-called Freedom Convoy started out days ago as a rally against a vaccine requirement for cross-border truckers.
I'm not vaccinated, so I left before the 15th of January. The rule in the States wasn't in place yet, but I have other friends that say...
Is this a French Canadian? I am very bigoted against French Canadians. No? Then I'm fine with him.
Even though vaccinated now, right now, the U.S. Customs, they're not enforcing that. So they're still going there. The problem is when we come back.
But the protest evolved to a demonstration against government overreach during the pandemic. Scores of trucks from across the country, some of which made it to the city on Friday, lined up in front of Parliament, blowing their horns as thousands of people gathered peacefully on the snow-covered lawn of Parliament. The violent rhetoric used by some of the promoters on social media in the run-up to the protest has worried police who were out in force on Saturday. The CBC reported Trudeau and his family left their downtown home due to security concerns. On Friday, Trudeau told the Canadian press he was worried about possible violence connected with the demonstrations.
French Canadians are pretty much all white. Ugh, they would be.
Earlier this week, he said the convoy represented a small fringe minority who do not represent the views of Canadians. About 90% of Canada's cross-border truckers and 77% of the population have had 2 COVID vaccination shots.
Yeah, that's what I had heard as well, and I'm seeing it here in the article too. About 90% of Canada's 120,000 cross-border truckers are now vaccinated in line with the country's adult population. Oh, wait, are we copying notes? This is from the BBC, this is from Reuters. I guess they're just, immediately relevant factoids that anyone would talk about in this context. Mr. Trudeau's Liberal government brought in the vaccine mandate on the 15th of January that would require unvaccinated Canadian truckers crossing the two nations' borders to quarantine once they return home. The U.S. has also recently said foreign truck drivers must show proof of vaccination to enter the country. Well, wait! If the requirement is being enforced on... Wait, then what is this protest supposed to do? Wait, hold on. The Canadian government is only saying they have to quarantine once they return home, but they're actually letting them cross the border. America is not letting them cross the border. There is only one country Canadian truckers can cross into. You have one land border, to my knowledge. Unless there's some very other edge case. Wait, what can they do? Even if Trudeau had done nothing, it wouldn't change anything. Trudeau's thing doesn't matter because unvaccinated Canadian truckers can't cross the border anyway. Is there another border you share? Is there a very, very long underground tunnel to Mexico that I'm not aware of? This is completely meaningless. This is... Okay. Well, I suppose this is something we should expect from Canadians. They're firing on all cylinders. Jesus, at least American anti-COVID protests are against actual things happening in our country.
Looking north of the border now, truck drivers in Canada are staging a massive protest over the country's vaccine mandate. So we're going to head on over to London, where MPS...
Is it a vaccine mandate, or is it just a quarantine mandate if you haven't vaccinated? It's just a quarantine mandate. That's what the news article said. Is there another law I'm not aware of? He said at the U.S. border they weren't checking vaccine status, like they weren't like fully doing it. Maybe they felt like Canada had already had it for them. If we're not enforcing our laws, though, I mean that's not. I don't know how operable that is. One convoy video making the rounds. Why is this making the rounds? Honk if you have a tiny dick. I see. I can read. Thank you. Now I know. Thank you. Wow. Body shaming? So this is apparently the leader of this movement?
That's right, Al. I've seen the mosque up in Fort Mac. Ladies and gentlemen, we are being overrun. The Anglo-Saxon people of Canada are our God-given culture. The Anglo-Saxon and the Francophones. We are losing our culture to other ethnic religions. This is not racism. This is genocide of a culture. And people have stood up to it before.
All right, so your leader is a white nationalist. Good, good, good. This is the leader, right? I'm guessing. Person in chat said they were. You telling me chat would lie to me? One of them? There might not just be one leader, prominent figure. You know, he goes into more. I love it when they go into more. Yeah, same guy.
Now, what it is the part of the depopulation. And a lot of people don't understand what that means. And what there is there's an end game. It's called depopulation of the Caucasian race, or the Anglo-Saxon. And that's what the goal is to depopulate the Anglo-Saxon race. Because they are the ones with the strongest bloodlines.
This guy is a phenomenal example against the intellectual superiority of white people. I don't know how you can look in the mirror as this guy and think, yes, my group is the superior group. This guy is clearly, and I'm being maybe a little uncharitable here, but I think you all agree, clearly deeply stupid. And I'm going to go a bit farther and say it's not sociological. I just think this guy's got like low IQ juice in his brain. He just strikes me as just a very empty-headed person. If I were to be additionally uncharitable, I could talk about how essentially every physical and social attribute he exudes is counterthetical to the idea of the superiority of the white race. As always, I am reminded of the only good comic panel from Preacher. There we go. Why is it the greatest champions of the white race? He's a Texan. I don't want to do the Texan bit. Could I? Why is it the... No, how do you do a Texan accent? Why is it the greatest champions of the white race? No, that's not Texan. That's not Texan. What? Hold on. What does a Texan sound like? How am I... Hank Hill? Why is it the greatest champions of the white race always turn out to be the worst examples of it? You! Where the fuck is your chin, Bobby? There we go. Something like that. He came here to beat up a bunch of Ku Klux Klanners. It's a good comic. It's problematic. It's still good. It's problematic, but it's still good. It's just keep going.
And we'll leave it at that because then we get into a whole different topic. But it's a depopulation of race. Okay, that's what they want to do. I've spoken before about how we have Ahmed Ahmadinejad, or Mahmed. I can't say their names very well because I don't have the dialect that they do. We have Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, who states that
Because I don't have the extra Muslim tongue flap they grow.
no matter what, we are going to infiltrate governments, education systems. We're going to infiltrate every way possible into the Western world. What we're going to do is not only infiltrate by flooding with refugees, we're going to infiltrate the education systems to manipulate it to endorse this kind of behavior. This kind of behavior then endorses less procreation. All right, so the less procreation, the less white people, or, you know, Anglo-Saxon. Let's say Anglo-Saxon, because when I say white, all the Antifa guys call up the race card. So we're going to call...
Does he think he's in the room with a 2-year-old where saying dentist out loud will make them mad, but saying D-E-N-T-I-S-T wouldn't? This is the kind of guy who's in public and he sees a black guy and he nudges his underage girlfriend and whispers the N-word, but like letter by letter, like to not be too weird about it,
Call ourselves Anglo-Saxon, okay?
Oh, well. Yeah, this guy is totally flown under the cover. Is very, very under the radar with the racism on this one. Nicely done. Somebody said he's the leader of the West Convoy. Oh, this is from 2019. Oh, this guy's been a guy for a while. Is he even Canadian? He doesn't sound Canadian? I guess Canadians don't always sound Canadian. I mean, we're like right next. Hey, shut up. 2019, huh? He sounds Canadian to me. Sorry, I only know 2 languages. American and French, all right? Don't get at me.
So up in Canada, the convoy of truckers converging on Ottawa to keep that nation free is growing larger by the day. They left from Vancouver on the western side of the country on Sunday. They're protesting the federal government's vaccine mandates for cross-border truckers, among other things. That mandate took effect on January 15th, preparatory to a worldwide digital travel pass, internal passports for everybody linked to your health status, but not limited to your health status. If you can't see the future in clear outline...
Not limited to your health... He does realize passports are already a thing, right? When you cross the border, you already have to have a passport. They already do this. What?
Right now, you're not paying attention, but the truckers in Canada can. The Canadian Trucking Alliance estimates that roughly 16,000...
Oh, here's the Wikipedia page and the whole damn thing. Freedom Convoy 2022. I love it when my movements for freedom have the misinformation section and the extremism links to far-right and separatist groups. Oh, wow, we have a lot of... Oh, hello. Got a lot for here. Oh, here we go. Facebook page for the convoy is shared content from and listed as an organizer, Wexit co-founder and Yellow Vest Canada organizer Patrick King. That's the guy we were looking at. Wexit? Independence of Western Canada. I don't care. Maverick Party. Tamara Litch, the protest fundraiser, is secretary for the Maverick Party, a Western separatist group formerly known as Wexit Canada. Oh, well, there it is again. Litch was previously the regional coordinator for Wexit in southeastern Alberta and... Gotcha. Action for Canada, associated with the Canada Unity Group inside the Freedom Convoy, Islamophobic and anti-LGBTQ movement groups with a webpage about the danger of political Islam, health consequences of 5G technology. God. No more lockdown. Oh, and the People's Party of Canada. Nice. Very good. Very good. Heard of these guys before. They're a little bit sussy. Right-wing to far-right federal political party in Canada. Membership about 30,000. It's not too big. Principles and policies. Very good. Yes. Rejects multiculturalism, of course. Limit immigration, blah de blah. Contemporary Western civilization. Yeah. You get it. You get the gist. Their founder is French Canadian. Ugh.
Truckers in Canada are not vaccinated. That convoy also includes truckers who are vaccinated but who aren't going to stand for tyranny. Here's what the convoy looks like.
This started with vaccine mandates.
Like shit.
But for most here, it's about a lot more.
I think this is more of a freedom movement.
Well over 1,000 people lining the Trans-Canada Highway outside of Winnipeg in -30 wind chills, protesting what they call government overreach.
Should suffer. Ha! When Americans protest their government, we do it in balmy, temperate climates. Look at these idiots. Owning the government to protest a policy that doesn't even matter in -30-degree wind chill. All right, have fun.
Somebody has to stand up for Canada, and the truckers are doing it.
It all started a couple days ago in Delta, BC. Truckers protesting vaccine mandates at the border. Now, as the convoy logs more kilometers, it's getting more support.
We're just really tired of getting our freedoms trampled on.
It's worth sticking up for what you believe in.
Arriving outside Winnipeg.
I'd be worried about the health of my ears going to this place. My God.
Hundreds of vehicles taking more than an hour to pass.
We came from Calgary. Yeah. What do you think of this?
What do we? It's awesome.
What?
Take our country back.
What?
As it rambled by, no one was hit. It was peaceful. Salvatore Vetro has followed since BC.
It's a togetherness like I've never felt before.
And it keeps growing.
That really says it all, doesn't it? One of the reasons conservatives are so easy to rope into these mass hysterias is because they're so alienated from their environments that the togetherness they feel from briefly being like honked at in freezing weather by a bunch of truckers is the closest they felt to other people. This is one of the reasons why conservatives like their people ostracized and socially unsatisfied. It's one of the reasons why, you know, like incel groups are one of the easiest recruiting grounds for far-right policy, because they know that lonely people, unsatisfied people are way easier to politically exploit, way easier to make fearful.
And thank God it keeps growing. So what's the reaction been like from our media gatekeepers? Well, a cartoonist for the Washington Post accused the truck drivers of fascism. There's the cartoon on your screen. So a paid vassal for the world's richest man, a man who supports censorship and crushing anyone who doesn't agree with him, who treats his own legions of workers like serfs. A guy who works for that man is telling you that people who peacefully assemble to express political opinions are, quote, fascists. Really, who's the fascist, pal?
What? The guy you work for is wealthy, and the people who are protesting are being peaceful, so who's the fascist? Okay.
Sheldon Andreas is not a fascist. He's a pastor. He's also a trucker. He's a member of the Freedom Convoy, and we're grateful to have him join us tonight from Ontario. Mr. Andreas, thanks so much for coming on. A fascist, really. So tell us why you're doing this, if you would.
Definitely not fascist. Well, there certainly seem to be a lot of fascists there. I'm okay with calling these like fascist movements, by the way, because they make absolutely no effort to excise fascism from their ranks. You know that old saying, if there's like if there's 9 people at a table, 1 Nazi sits down, nobody else gets up, there are now 10 Nazis at the table. A harsh condemnation, to be sure, but considering we're talking about like essentially the greatest possible expression of political evil with regards to far-right politics and fascists, I'd say making no effort whatsoever to excise them, up to and including making them your organizers. One of the organizers for this thing is a guy who is a white nationalist. Like, I don't think we're taking hard leaps here, you know? I don't think we're being unfair, like, oh, you think this is a fascist movement just because it's like filled with far-right people, and its organizers are associated with our far-right parties, and also some of our organizers are themselves white nationalists who believe that Islamists are coming to the West to destroy white people, and that we need to secure a white state. You think we're a fascist? Well, I don't know. Maybe a little bit. It's indicative. It's indicative. It's concerning. It's close enough.
Yeah, well, probably mostly for the same reasons that a lot of these other guys are out here doing this. There's just been a stifling of freedom and a stifling of unity in Canada for 2 years.
Of unity?
A lot of people are down. A lot of people are fired. Man, you can't even go into a grocery store without getting into an argument about a mask or whatnot.
Well, way to tell us you have specific political concerns and aren't just unhappy.
So what really drove me to do this is the smiling faces that I seen on the people that organized it.
What?
Like a good friend of mine helped to put this together.
Oh God, we're not going to get a reason, are we?
And it's just been wonderful to see all the smiling faces that have come together. And it doesn't matter, Christians, non-Christians, all sorts. The natives are out banging their drums.
Somehow, your message of unity is not convincing me that you don't have right-leaning politics. Your attempt to express to me the unity of your group is not selling me. Yeah, least racist Canadian. God.
Just a wonderful sensation to see unity, once again in Canada.
Well, it's beautiful to watch from below your border, I have to say. You're being
sorry. The natives, quote unquote, are actually white people going yabba dabba doo while banging drums. Sokatoa, 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 Sokatoa. Ah, yes, I remember the famous First Nations rain chant, Yabba Dabba Doo. Yes! Bring the rain. So, again, I want to be charitable and consistent here and say that at the face of it, I don't think there's anything wrong with banging drums, even if you're a Mayo monkey. And I also don't think there's anything wrong with doing, like, chants. And the reason I think that is because I think it's possible to do those things without being racially insensitive or offensive or outright condemnatory. However, the fact that it is possible to do it in a way which is not racially condemnatory does not mean that is always the case, and I think this is probably pretty bad. Very blacks for Trump energy. Very not good, I would say. Yeah, I've said before, like, I don't really care if white people have dreads, and that is true. But this seems more like minstrel show bullshit, approximately. And conservative movements are obsessed with seeming as though the minorities are on their side, right? Like, constantly. Like, how many times have we on this channel gone over, like some obvious effort to appeal to black or Hispanic or women conservatives, in ways that the left often doesn't. Usually the left just is kind of all-encompassing with the messaging outside of your, like, cringy, means-tested sort of liberal idpol type stuff. And you'll have, like, acknowledgements of different groups, but rarely is there, like, let's bring black people into the left. The way Candace Owens' entire job is, let's bring black people over to the right. Of course, mostly what she does is convince white conservatives that they're not racist, but they are, and so is she. We're not done with the clips, obviously, because how could we be? Somebody said they just admitted to being white supremacists.
So nice to see so many faces. I have a question for you, okay? I need you to help me out. I'm looking for someone. I need to know what a white supremacist looks like. Are you a white supremacist, sir?
Yes, I am a white supremacist.
All right. There you go. Oh, okay. All right.
Well, I appreciate the honesty. Question mark, question mark. So what she was trying to do there was she was assuming nobody would say that they were a white supremacist because she's very naive. The goal she was trying to achieve there was to make her group look not racist by saying, I want to know what a white supremacist looks like. Are there any white supremacists here? And it's dead silent. And she's like, well, I guess we'll never know, because that's the conservative soundbite. But the Chad racist, hold on. How can I find a Wojak that is the Chad face, but also like K Kona or like the hog? There's like I need a few things transposed here. I don't know. It'll take forever to find what I'm looking for. But the Chad racist, immediately dispelled the illusion. Yes, I am. And by the way, I love how half-hearted the crowd was in booing. This is like the most explicit shit in the world. Because conservatives are always like, well, we don't like white supremacy, and then they ignore all the implicit stuff. This guy just explicitly says, I'm a white supremacist, and listen to the boo we get from this crowd. That was maybe 5 people? They sounded closer to the camera, but it didn't sound like a large number of people, just a few people relatively close to the camera. That's it? That really? If this was a left-leaning group, and somebody said, I am a white supremacist, they would have had to be escorted away by police. Yeah, it was like half boo, half woo. It wasn't anything. Just conservatives are always talking about how, dude, the left is the real racist. We're not racist. Show us a racist. Well, we hate racists. And this guy goes up on stage and is like, yeah, I'm white supremacist. I hate black people, whatever. And people are like, okay, yeah, you're brave, yeah, just not a wholehearted condemnation. My fascism meter, it keeps ticking upwards. I don't know.
There you go. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm just confused, and I'm sure you'll see why I'm confused. Because all I can see are freedom-loving Canadians.
See, she had the bit. See, she had the bit, but it was ruined by the guy who admitted that he's a white supremacist. And there were probably 100 other people in the audience who, if they were brave, would have also. She keeps going, though. I admire that. I admire that she keeps going, pretending that didn't happen. That is absolutely phenomenal. Okay, here we go. Thank you. There we go. This is the closest we're going to be able to get. Sorry, guys. Okay? She wanted to do her bit, but then the Chad racist, all right, steps up. He's not going to let her do her bit, okay? He's got a goddamn honest message to deliver. What are we doing? Oh, right. We were 5 videos in.
Snarled at, but you're smiling back. The government seems to be doing all it can.
Remember, guys, being a Giga Chad, it's in your heart, not in your body. Okay?
And to prevent you from peacefully protesting its, speaking of fascist, policies. But you're doing it anyway. Are you worried about the repercussions?
Oh, not at all. Not at all. I mean, some of my friends have been arrested for pastoring their churches. We're fully prepared to smile and push through.
What?
Arrested for pastoring their churches. We're fully prepared to.
What were they doing to get arrested? Oh, for keeping their churches open during lockdown. Okay. They meant during lockdown. Okay, defying lockdown. Gotcha. Okay.
To smile and push through for the greater good, Tucker. We want to see Christ glorified in the church and out of the church. So we're pushing forward. Come with me.
So why? Wait, I shouldn't even pose this to you. Let me just say, you seem much more like a civil rights hero than a fascist.
Now, you seem a lot more like Martin Luther King Jr. than a fascist. Do you think you're like Hitler, like the left thinks you are? Or do you think you're more like Mahatma Gandhi, which is the impression that I'm getting?
To me, are any media in Canada supporting you, or at least arguing that you should have a right to express your views?
Yeah, not that I know of, Tucker. I think maybe Rebel News is putting out some positive stuff about the movement, but the mainline media is much the same in the USA. These guys are not our friends. They're coming after us. They're slandering really good people. Man, some of the stuff they're saying about really good people, dragging their names through the mud, it's shameful.
Like who?
So no.
Like who? Do you want to name anybody specific? Maybe. Like anyone you want to stake your reputation on?
No fascists here. Moms and dads and kids standing around a bonfire beside me where the convoy came through here about, I don't know, half an hour ago. Standing here, with their kids enjoying a fire with people they haven't, got to hang out with for a very long time.
I got to say, it's just so thrilling to see.
What? Okay, wait. I just want to be clear. I understand there are laws in Canada concerning lockdown, but if you want to see a person, you can see a person. You can just go see them. It's not the way he was talking. It was like, by breaking the quarantine and the lockdown, finally we're able to meet. Before we were locked in the shelter. You can just meet people. You're allowed to do that.
This, having watched Canada, was such a beautiful country, a wonderful country, descend into this darkness, and to see someone like you standing up cheerfully is really affirming. So thank you, Sheldon Andreas.
Oh, here we are. Sorry. Least fascist right-wing movement. Least fascist group. Again, and I cannot state this enough, okay? Now, I know this for a fact, all right? Not only were these guys not chased out by the good ones, okay? But there were people who went up there from the protest just to suck their cocks. I know this for a fact because they love it. They adore it. Why are they calling the Jews? I don't know what this means. Goyim titi. What is this? There's like a fold here covering goy immunity. But you're the goy. Oh, goyim.tv. Gotcha. Is it like it's like a Nazi site, probably? I'm guessing. Yeah, probably. Imagine being so defined by your eternal imaginary enemy that you name yourself like after them, you know? It's just so indicative of where their minds are at. Left-leaning movements do not do that shit. The Goyim Defense League, loose network of individuals connected by their virulent anti-Semitism. Gotcha. Do you know why they need to be connected into a group? Okay, it's true. They do need this protection. You know why? Because one Jewish kid could beat the shit out of them. Just one. In fact, I saw it happen. The mean streets of Beverly Hills, Pico Boulevard. Okay? A lot of kosher shops right down there. It was the craziest thing I ever saw. Just 6,000 skinheads walking down. One fucking kid just got his bar mitzvah. Just beat the shit out of all of them. It was crazy. Just ruined it. Oh my god. It was amazing. Vosh, this is in Florida, not Canada. This one right here. Oh, I guess there is technically nothing here that connects it to the Canadian thing. No, today in Orlando? Is this lying? Are they lying or are you lying? Wait, Orlando, Florida. I was thinking Ontario. Oh my god. Oh my god. I was thinking Ontario. Oh my god. I'm so tired. Oh my god. I just saw. Okay, can we agree that Florida is barely American anyway, and that my general perception of Orlando being in a foreign country is at least somewhat valid? Orlando, foreigners, I thought the same thing. Look at that. Chat coming out to agree with me. You guys get your political news from me. All right, listen. New take. Any Nazis anywhere are too much. Also, I'm blaming Canada for this. I don't care. Do you care? Chat. All in favor of blaming Canada for these Nazis? Say aye. There we go. There we go. Say it's simple. Simple. This is the messiest segment we've had in a while. This is what the people come to my channel for. Extremely fastidious and intellectual political commentary. Now, this was from Canada. There have been several photos of this one particular person. Okay. First of all, libertarian flag, Nazi flag, no disagreement here between these two. If you have the swastika out, you can just say fuck. This is more offensive than this, okay? This is like the equivalent of having goatsy printed on your shirt and then the censored, like, damn on the back. Or you have, like, damn, that's a big asshole. And, like, there's a little asterisk instead of the A. Puritanical Nazis are so cracked, bro. Pepe La. That's true. There are those types. There are those types of evangelicals who would, if given the chance, mutilate a gay person and lynch them, but will not let you say "God damn it" in their house. That is a group of people that exist, and they're also Canada's fault. Anyway, what was this? The Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs, advocacy agent of Jewish federations in Canada. Ah, gotcha. Dude, I hate that, man. I hate that so many, like, groups are like advocates for Israel and for Jewish affairs. That shit is not the same thing. Israel is for Israel. It's just a country, okay? Any, like, ethnic or religious dispositions they exhibit are an element of statecraft. That's what states do. What Jewish people want, need, everything, not always in line with, in fact, often not in line with the state. Oh, trending Nazis. Really? You don't say. Nazis on the street in Florida. This is Canada. This is Canada, folks. Remember.
You're live. 6 million viewers.
It's crazy. I just can't imagine waking up in the morning and thinking we're like the superior race. And if you think I'm body shaming, I'm not. They body shame. I'm not the person with some weird early 20th century views on what it means to be the master race, okay? They are. And you've got this guy over here who's trying to lean backwards so his gut doesn't topple him over forwards. You've got Ben Shapiro stunt double over here. And you've got... Can women even be out of the house in Nazi Germany? Probably not. Shut up, lady.
White pride's when you think it, white power is when you live it. You can shove that finger up your rabbi's ass. He's a Jew. Look at him. Guess where you're going back to?
We know you're a Jew. We can sell my house.
Where's that one picture? Hold on. Where's that one picture? Shoe on Head was a fan of this one. Oh yeah. Buckle up, son. Timmy, strap in. Make sure that your seatbelt is locked in tight. We just had a brake failure. Yep. It's been known to happen, folks. I've gotten all sorts of wacky adventures. Oh no. Oh god. Oh jeez.
I'm gonna go tell somebody about this. Let me tell my rabbi. I can help.
This is the power of the Fourth Reich, folks. These people thrive off the attention. I've said this before. I did this in my whole thing about Jojo Rabbit. But the last thing that you want to do is take any of the... So you can take this seriously in the sense that I seriously think all of these people should make a quick exit to the bottom of a ditch and stay there. But you shouldn't take them seriously in the sense that you validate their feeling of empowerment in being here. Because this is what gets their little dicks hard, all right? Like this right here, like they're living for like this is like the only power this guy with the loudspeaker has ever felt in his entire life. I mean, this is it, like, you know, this is he's got to be thinking of this for a long time, okay? So when you pearl clutch and you're like, oh my god, how horrible, like, yeah, it's bad, but like not as bad as their drip, right? You take it too seriously, then you get that whole, you know, a lot of people like being the bad guy. A lot of people like that. They like being the big scary, you know, like, society is evil, but I'm the evil it needs, you know. You don't want to give them that satisfaction.
Heil me? Come on, for old time's sake. Heil me, little man.
No.
Heil me.
No.
A little high, just a little high, please.
Fuck off, Hitler.
Let me suck the blood from the baby's penis like the rabbi does. All I'm saying, another satisfied customer. Come again.
Yeah, was that supposed to be like a Jewish voice? What was that supposed to be? Like a German accent? Not even a good chant. Absolute disgrace from these guys. We're the master. We're the master. White pride worldwide. This guy is goddamn mobility scooter. These guys might go to jail. Apparently, what happened? My son just witnessed these Nazis. Said there were dozens hanging on the corner. The guy getting assaulted got out of his car and pushed by them.
Oh, now he's getting swung on. Don't, stop it. Don't back up.
Nah, I don't know if that's going to be enough for jail. Even if it was, it would just be for that one guy. Oh yeah, apparently some of these Canadian protesters... Oh, Jesus. They're shepherds of good hope. Been a difficult weekend for our downtown shelter and soup shop. The staff and volunteers at our soup kitchen experienced verbal harassment and pressure from protesters seeking meals. While we're not certain of exact numbers, the demand for meals and verbal altercations continued for several hours over the dinner period. One member of our shelter community was assaulted by protesters. A security guard went to his aid and was threatened and called racial slurs. Ah, yes. Movement for freedom. These incidents occurred 2 years the day from the declaration of a state of emergency on housing and homelessness in Ottawa. Since then, we battled an unprecedented global pandemic. Okay, nice. So some of these Canadian not fascist protesters assaulted people working at a soup kitchen and called a guard who came to the aid of that person racial slurs in an effort to steal food. Now that's what I call an extremely morally...
Anyone know if the homeless shelter is still giving out free food? Pretty hard to find a restaurant in the area that'll support the Patriots. Most of them forcing us to wear masks, which is pretty ridiculous. A bunch of us earlier in the day were lined up at Shepherd's. They were giving out free food. They seem pretty happy to be serving the Patriots. Yeah. Any clarity on that? Where are we supposed to be getting our food? As far as I'm concerned, we're homeless in this city because there ain't no hospitality here in Ottawa, that's for sure.
You bet, brother. The resources are there to help you guys as well. Don't feel bad about anything. If they're cutting you guys off of food, you are homeless. You're in the middle of a city. So God bless you guys. I hope you find everything you need. Try the churches and everything.
Anyone know if the homeless shelter is still giving out free food? Pretty hard to find a restaurant in the area.
We call these guys fascists. Assaulting a soup kitchen worker and calling the guard racial slurs is pretty high up there. Feels like it's up there. I think it's up there.
What do you got? What do you thinking? Well, I got some special...
Wow, these guys don't need to say a word. They're all Nazis. I'm sorry, this is phrenology. This is so obviously... Especially the guy in the top left. Jesus Christ. This could just be a still image, and I feel like I could infer everything they say.
Special videos for tomorrow night, but yeah. A, guys. Let's get pumped for this. Let's go to fucking Ottawa.
A.
Let's go.
I want to see one of those truckers. I wouldn't prize not none of our guys, obviously, but I would like to see our own January 6th event. See some of those truckers plow right through that 16-foot wall. None of us, of course. I just like to see it.
There's going to come a point in time where you're going to look back and be like, you're telling your children, like, were you there on this day?
I was there.
Yeah, when the prosecutor's asking you. There's got to be a time when you're asked, were you there? And you're going to say, no, Your Honor, I have an alibi, and start sweating profusely. Listen, my only regret for this whole thing is that that robbery of the soup kitchen didn't take place in America, so that the nanosecond that worker was assaulted, the security guard didn't, immediately unstrap the Gatling gun from the place where you would normally carry a fire extinguisher and atomize the trucking protesters, leaving a sort of almost comedic hole in the wall behind them with, the shape of their body sort of red plastered out. Shame they're in Canada. That's why we're a Second Amendment, folks. Arm your soup kitchen workers, folks. They're good people. They don't deserve to be hassled, all right? You put a hand on a soup kitchen worker, you activate the 200-pound depleted uranium skirt of armor protection that they wear, which instantly fires a reactive shell in your direction, reducing you to a fine paste. Hey, Shu, we're looking at some of the best people out there. Just some very fine folks. Listen, end the segment. Oh, wait, no, we have to do a summary. You always do a summary at the end. I'm sure some of the people doing this Canadian protest thing are fine people, but it doesn't matter, okay? It just doesn't matter. Because the fact that there are good people who keep getting roped like suckers into far-right movements, which are openly, unapologetically racist, fascist, anti-Semitic, that is not an exoneration of anyone who participates. If it was me, and this could be because I was built different, I would simply not be a part of a political ideology that constantly, overwhelmingly shares its space with fascists and white nationalists. That's me being built different, It's just every single conservative aligned movement that ever seems to happen in the West, at least these days, it just has the guy with the swastika there, They just have the guy who believes in white replacement, I'm being very charitable by saying guy as opposed to guys, multiple, as in like a large number of them. Yeah, thank God they're in Canada, and America has no far-right people at all.